In this video, we will learn about on-site optimization. What is site optimization or on-site optimization? Site optimization is about helping search engines understand what is the content on your site about. Your site may have product pages, service pages, blogs. It is very important for search engines to understand what this content is about. Once the search engines understand what is the topic of your website, then the search engines will be able to rank your pages in search results. So it is very important for us to create the right kind of content which is topical about your product or services, the kind of thing you're trying to sell. It is also very important to organize the content in a user friendly manner. We create content on the site to help users. So it is very important to make sure that users can find that content. That is why you see sites using menu structures, categories, and so on and so forth, so people can find what they're looking for. If a user can find a content on your site, then search engine bots will also be able to find the content on the site. And once search engines find the content, they are going to index all the pages on the site. So whichever page you want to rank in search results must first get indexed by search engines, and search engines must understand what is there on the page. Once these two things happen, then the search engines will start including your page in search results. Each page on your site may have different content. So it is very important for the site owner to make sure that the content on each page is optimized to tell search engines what is that particular page about, which keywords that particular page should rank for. It is also important that we have the right kind of technical foundations in place for the website. Let us see how site optimization works. So, how can we optimize a website? Or what are the steps involved in optimizing it? The first step is to create a keyword plan. We have to first figure out which keywords we want to optimize the site for. Then we find the kind of content that is likely to rank in search engines. Then we'll create the content that search engines are going to like and optimize that content for the keywords that we are targeting. Finally, we want to organize the content in order to maximize its SEO impact. Once we have the content in place, we have all the keywords optimized, we have the internal links in place to make sure the SEO impact on the site is maximized. Then we submit the page or the site to be indexed by search engines. Let's look at how do we go about creating a good keyword plan. The first step is to find smart keywords for the site. Research keyword search volume, understand the intent behind the keyword, prioritize keywords based on volume, intent, and your ability to rank. So if your site has low domain authority and you see that all the ranking pages are from high domain authority sites and all of those pages have very high quality content, it'll be very hard for you to rank for those keywords. Instead, it might be a good idea to pick another keyword where the competition is easier for you to manage. Maybe the pages which are ranking have low domain authority or do not have high quality content. Once you have the keywords in place, then you need to figure out what kind of content you should produce which the search engines will want to rank in search results. For that, first search Google with the keyword and see which pages are ranking for that keyword. That content is something that Google thinks is relevant to the keyword and loves it. That's why it's ranking that keyword, that page for the keyword. So analyze the pages which are already ranking for the keyword in Google searches. See if there's some content on social media for that keyword that people like to share. Now, we studied earlier that social media sharing does not impact SEO. But if people like something on social media and they're sharing it, that means some people might end up building links to this content from their website because they like it. So if something is popular on social media, it means that you may be able to attract a lot of links from users who discover it on social media and like your content. Look for patterns across high performing content. On first page of Google search, you'll find 10 pages. What is common across those 10 pages? Maybe the structure of the pages is common. Look at the top 3 or 5 pages. Especially look at pages which are ranking high and ranking above pages from high domain authority sites. Because those pages have something going for them. Look for what is the kind of content those pages have. The structure, use of images, how long that content is, what kind of language is being used. All of those things are important for you to incorporate in your own content, because all the things that you see that are common in high performing pages, high ranking pages, those are things that probably Google likes to see in the content. Therefore, you should also include it in your content. Once you have figured out what kind of content to create, then you need to go ahead and create that content. And when you create the content, you have to make sure that it is optimized for the keywords you are targeting. So you need to optimize the different elements in the content that are going to impact keyword optimization on the page. You'll also need to optimize non-content elements. So content elements are pieces of content which are part of your page, and non-content elements are those elements on the page which are not part of your content, but they are part of your overall HTML code or the page code. You also need to organize the content to make it easy for users to find and follow it. And if users can find and follow it, then search engine bots will be able to find and crawl it. So there are two things here: find and follow. To help people find your content, it should be accessible from one of the other pages on the site. So you can either add it to the navigation menu at the top or at the footer. Maybe you put it on your blog page, and within the blog page, you have some sort of navigation that allows people to find this page. You might want to link to this new content from existing pages so people can come to this page while they're on another page. So on home page, you provide a link to page A, and then page A in turn links to page B. So if users go from home page to page A, they'll be able to find page B. And same thing holds for search engine bots. The bots come to the home page, they find page A from home page, then from page A, they find link to page B and go and crawl it. So this is about being able to find. Being able to follow is the on-page structure, having a nice and clear headlines, organizing content into different sections and subsections, using images where needed, and so on and so forth. When you link to a page on your site from another page on the site, you are creating some SEO benefit for the link page. So if page A on your site links to page B, page A is helping page B rank little higher because this is a backlink coming to page B from page A. How much of an impact this link is going to have depends on the ranking of page A. If page A ranks high, its page authority is high, then a link from page A to page B will pull up the ranking for page B. If the page A authority is less, then the link will be less valuable. However, when you create the links, you have the full liberty of creating anchor text because it is your own website. So when you create a link to page B from page A, you can create anchor text which is keyword rich. And that will help your page B a lot in ranking for that keyword. Once you have the content ready and linked, then you need to get it indexed by search engines. You must ensure that your site or your page is indexed by at least Google and Bing. For that, you need to create a sitemap and add the sitemap to Google Webmaster Tools account. When you do that, Google will use that sitemap to crawl your site. If all the pages that you want ranked in search results are included in the sitemap, then those pages will be available for Google to crawl through the sitemap, and Google bots will be able to find and crawl those pages. So once you create and submit the sitemap, it helps Google find pages on your site and crawl and index them. You can control the crawling on your site through robots.txt file. It is a file on your website, it's a text file that controls what Google or Bing bots can do on your site. Using the robots.txt file, you can tell these bots which pages to index and which pages not to index. Once you have submitted the site and Google has completed its crawl, you can go back to Webmaster Tools account and verify if Google has indexed the pages. You can also do a Google search to verify that Google has indexed pages on your site. Let us go a little deeper to understand the type of content that you need to produce. Once you have the keyword that you want to target, then you need to produce a content that users will love to read and watch. If it is video, they watch it. If it is blog, they read it. In addition to users loving to read and watch, the search engines must also consider that content to be authoritative, having good high quality information. You also want to make sure that your content is created in a way that users will love to share, because when your content gets shared, then it gets discovered by a lot of people who will build backlinks to your site without you asking for it. And if all of these things fall in place, then your page will rank high in search results. So, what do users love? Users love a piece of content that is of high value to them and solves a problem for them. If I'm trying to, for example, figure out how to make a YouTube video, I want to find a page that walks me step by step how I can create, so how I can record a video, edit it, how do I upload it, and publish it on YouTube. That is value to me. I don't know how to do it, it is teaching me how to do it. That is value to me. On the other hand, a page might list all the steps but may not describe how to do those things. May not have screenshots, may not have video demonstrations, may not have enough description for me to understand how to do those things. In that case, this content will not solve my problem, and therefore it is of less value to me. People love content that is easy to follow and share. So, written clearly, bigger bold fonts, bigger normal fonts, nice line spacing, short paragraphs, short sentences, images were needed to illustrate the concept, easy words, simple words. If you use complicated words, a lot of people will not understand what you are trying to say. So, how do you find such kind of content? You can look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very popular publishing platform. A lot of people publish hundreds of posts every day on LinkedIn. And for most business keywords, you will be able to find some content that doing well on LinkedIn. So find a content that is doing well on LinkedIn that people have commented on, they have liked and shared. You can do the same thing on Facebook, especially for content that is more consumer focused. You can look at discussion forums, Reddit, Quora, chat forums to see what kind of content people are sharing on those forums. That will help you understand what kind of content people like. You can also use some specialized tools to find these content. On LinkedIn, you can simply use the search feature, search LinkedIn using your keyword, and LinkedIn will show you posts that match your keyword. Look for posts that have most actions. Actions mean likes, comments, shares. Once you find a few posts that had lots of actions, analyze them for common threads. What does the headline look like? Does it use number like 5 ways to do ABC or 10 ways to do ABC? Does it say how to do certain thing? How long those posts are? How many images they are using? What kind of language they are using? All those things will help you figure out what you should include in your own content. Find some groups which are related to the keywords and see what people are discussing in those groups. Looking at LinkedIn discussion groups will help you understand what users want to hear. You can also find popular content on Facebook, especially when it comes to consumer oriented content. Facebook users generally prefer visual content. LinkedIn users generally prefer text based content. So search Facebook using your keyword. Look through top posts for common threads, just like you do on LinkedIn. Review groups that match the keyword and see what people are discussing in those groups. Look at top videos and images. Forums and chats are places where people come to discuss. And for any topic, there is a forum or a chat that is active on the internet. Forums are especially useful when you're selling to small business owners or entrepreneurs because they're very active on those forums. You can use boardreader.com, which is a forum search engine, to find relevant forums. Just search boardreader.com with the keyword and it will display all the forums where those keywords are being used in discussions. Go to those forums, read through chats and discussions to identify what kind of questions people are asking and what kind of content people are sharing and what kind of responses they're giving. When you look at what kind of responses people are giving and how people are interacting with those responses, you will understand what kind of content people might like. You can also use tools for finding popular content. You can look at Google Trends, BuzzSumo, Ahrefs. These are all the tools that you can use to find popular content. You just enter the keyword and these contents will tell you which content piece from which site is popular for those keywords. And then you can analyze those pieces of content and figure out again what is common between them and what kind of information you need to have in your own content. Great. So let us see if you remember anything. Why should we optimize page content on the website? To help search engines find it easily, to help search engines understand it, to help users use it more effectively, or all of the above? The correct answer is you want to optimize pages so search engines can understand it properly. Why should we analyze content that is ranking in Google? To understand the type of content Google loves to rank, to understand which type of content can attract links, to understand content that can be popular on social media, or both A and B? The correct answer is both A and B. You want to see what content is ranking in Google today so you can understand what type of content Google wants to rank. So what type of content Google thinks is best able to answer the question asked in the search query. And also these pieces of content are ranking because they have been able to attract backlinks. So this is the kind